Hey up everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to another trade recap. So I actually took two trades yesterday. The first one was in the London session, about 3 minutes past 9, and we actually took a loss here. And then I really liked the higher time frame narrative and our setup, so I was waiting to re-enter, and the market was just teasing us, waiting for a 1 minute shock for ages into the New York session. So you wouldn't believe it. I even missed my sunset beach walk and spent a lot of time on the computer yesterday. Um, but it was worth it in the end. Patience paid off, and we got a win in New York. So I'm going to jump onto the chart now, and as per, because this is the next day, we're going to mark out the low of the 15 minute where I was looking to take this trade long from, and we're going to go to the next day. So yeah, that purple badger hadn't happened yet, and daily's pretty simple. We're just still following this daily demand range order flow, daily swing structure demand order flow. Yeah, I'm not that fussed about looking for shorts on the daily yet unless we start seeing levels of demand go. But in my eyes, yeah, demand is still serving on the daily. So on the 4 hour, this is where things get a little bit sneaky. You can say we're aggressive, but you'll see on 15 minute why I like this area as well. So let's go ranges first. This was my beginning of the day markups. So yeah, where we've got some stuff actually just underneath this swing structure, but we don't play from that. Yeah, I like these lower time frame point of interests in this extremity of a supply to demand range flip that pretty much has all this inducement before the break of this swing structure as well. And if we look at the point of interest wise, I know I'll be moving this badger down, but a lot of things happens in wicks, and the reason this point of interest hasn't been so clear and has been shuffling around a little bit is because we can see some big wicks here. Okay, but it's just when we go down to the lower time frame, there's a bit more clearer information here. But yeah, you can see we've got a bit of a flip order flow. This level flipped that level, then this level flipped that level, and then this level flipped that level. So yeah, demand that flipped a level of supply, albeit a substructure supply, but we are pro trend, bullish, so it's a flip. Happy days. Yeah, not keen on shorts. So I still, yeah, my whole high time frame narrative and bias basically is bullish until or unless we start seeing these levels of supply get broken, right? So yeah, let's have a look at this. Are we serving from point of interest that create a flip? Yep. And are we pro trend? Yep. So now down to the 15 minute. So before I forget, the first thing I want to cover on the first trade is I even have learnt this lesson a few times in the past, but for some reason I still like to ignore it sometimes. Be aware of first tap into a higher time frame point of interest could be liquidity. I like to say, like, if the first tap is super clean, then sweet, go for it. But if it's looking like it's not that clean and we could have a cleaner point of interest just below us, then yeah, the first tap could be liquidity. The sweep, a little fake out. Again, why I have this as an additional cherry. It's not a must, because if it is really clean, I will take it. But if we have this first as well, then happy days. And that is basically our first trade yesterday. We become this liquidity. So you can see we're not actually in the point of interest here yet, but I am going to break down. Excuse me. The morning incense, man, chokes me up. I've had all these marked out for quite a while, ever since they got created, really, back in April. So if you have a little pause there, have a look at the bigger picture of all this kind of price action. What's going on? This is our level of 4-hour supply. Okay. And if you look at our 15-minute entry criteria diagram, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, this level, that strong level of supply, we've had a big push in the market, but demand's held. We've got some nice flips going on down here as well. Don't actually play from these yet. Come up, test this level of supply. Right, so if this level of supply is going to continue, this strong level, we want to see it break this low. Okay, but it doesn't. It just creates liquidity, comes down, sweeps that badger. This is the same for the second trade as well, so I won't repeat this on the second trade. Okay, just remember this kind of higher time frame narrative, because we end up going from this point of interest. What I mean is now we actually go a little bit too early. Okay, but yeah, we end up going from this one. So this is the second trade as well. So this is 15-minute and higher time frame narrative. Both trades all being explained now. Okay, so yeah, this badger here has come down, swept all this. See the low here, has swept all these orders here, which is nice. And come back up, and then supply has swept all this liquidity. Big push, mitigated supply order flow. Then if supply was to continue, you'd want it to see it breaking these lows, this low. But it doesn't. Demand holds, just creates more liquidity again to be swept at some point, and then gets broken. We end up really breaking. So on our diagram, I think I'll mark this out. Yeah, there you go. So supplies come down, mitigated demand order flow, sweeping liquidity, coming up, giving supply a chance to continue her trend short by having fuel and sweeping liquidity as well. So even though she's had all the chance in the world, she's got everything she needs, she still fails, demand holds serve, and ends up getting more liquidity and breaking supply. And creates a lot of big inducement. And this is like higher time frame inducement as well. It's like 4-hour inducement, which I find nice and juicy. So yeah, I had these marked out. There's a few down here. You know, I'm waiting to see if we can play with any of these, get our entry model. I'm happy to take it long. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, do we have flip inducement on the 15-minute and on the higher time frame? Yes. Are we serving from the point of interest that created a 15-minute and above, a higher time frame, so 4-hour flip and above? Yes. Are we serving from an area that swept liquidity? Yes. Okay. Sometimes you get these little kind of tight entry setups. See how this one, I'll be interested to see what happens. Come down, mitigate, give supply chance, fail, sweep supply, yeah, excuse the dogs, fails to break the low, then breaks, drops inducement. Yeah, I mean really you could say that's what we're playing. Oh sorry, I forget where we are now. No, we haven't played off that yet. Yeah. But yeah, you get these like smaller ones, and then sometimes you zoom out, look at the big picture of it as well, especially these big moves here, where there's obviously a lot of money in the morning. a lot of, excuse me, a lot of money in the market. So yeah, it's good to zoom out and have a little look. And then we jumped on down to the 1 minute. And then we just get rid of this. Oh, let's keep it on. What we're looking at. Now I just saw this lovely price action. Can't get much clearer than that. It's the Asian sweep. I believe we had a big push down. I am looking at this stuff. I'm starting to think, is this too far away from the Asian market to be classed as an Asian sweep? But yeah, something to look at. Something to look at. But yeah, here's our breaking low, and then this low was also just lower than this low. See that? The 242. I believe that's 24. Huh? That was lower, I swear. Where's our 1 minute badger? Oh, I can't. Ooh, not the mic. Can't see it from there. But yeah, that was a little chalk low there, little sweep. And then this level supply here got tested, failed, then got broken. And then this extra level supply here, again, price action fractal with sweeping. If supply here wants to carry on, it will do so from here. But instead it drops the inducement, and we got broken. So I was like, sweet, happy to look for longs. Got the fuel to move, got the chalk. I wanted to cover this low. Yeah, I think we got a fill just above it. But it went straight through us. Bosh. Almost wanted to chase it when we saw this big push here. Excuse me. Because it was actually mitigating stuff in the 5 seconds. But again, just going to stay patient, wait for this. But yeah, she just blew straight through us. So that was the first loss there. So at 3 minutes past 9 at 294. Stop loss 244. 294. Stop loss 244. 3 minutes past 9. Yeah, minus 1%. So we don't need that anymore. Right, now we're coming into this point of interest. So still very much same higher time frame narrative, yeah. This is, I'm not going to go back. We're just going to play from here. Now, again, there's little parts of me. I actually stay in my entry criteria diagram, log up, whatever, is I want to wait for a 1 minute chalk because I have been known in the past to get a bit excited in strong points of interest to enter off like the seconds. And as I said, like I like these points of interest. And there's probably bits of me in the past where if I saw that kind of price action, big wicking, smack in, smack out, I'll be like, oh, this is it. This is the sweep. We're going long. And I could have been going down here to 5 seconds, seeing, look, there's a flip there, there's a flip there. I'm not going to go into it because basically I don't take this trade, but just a little, you know, how important it is to wait for the 1 minute chalk. Save me from a loss here. So that was I had that marked out there, and I'm still very happy with this area. I like the high time frame narrative. We're pro trend, even though he's took a loss. Yeah, this was me now waiting around for this 1 minute chalk, and this was a long time on the computer yesterday because this just goes on for ages. And I that level of supply was just getting tested. Right, in future trade recaps, I'm not lighting incense. It's getting tested, but it's failing to create a low. But it's also demand. We are reacting from a strong point of interest, but we're failing to break supply yet. Alright, so I'm just waiting. Did have alerts set, but I was chilling. And yeah, we were waiting for a while. And then all within here, I was just watching stuff like, again, I went, oh, no, don't go into it, man. Shut up. There's loads of stuff going on the second tier and looking quite tempting, like flips and being swept and going. I was like, yeah, maybe. But no 1 minute chalk. You're probably wondering why I'm going on about this so much. I've just been stung by this a lot in the past, and the point of these recaps is so people don't make the same mistake as me, yeah? So 1 minute chalk, really can't stress enough how important that is, because if we were covering this low, look, it's now going, boom. So it would have been taken out if we had any of these going long. So I was happy with that. I was happy that I managed to stay out. Right, so now we've got our chalk short. And that was our chalk long. Now I've just taken a loss, and I've been looking at the computer. This is what I wrote down anyway. For an hour and a half, waiting for this really, from 9 to 11:30. Wow, is that long? Yeah, 9. 2.5 hours. This is long for me, and usually would be on the beach by now. I was a little bit fried, and a bit of me was playing out. I was like, almost, yeah, just tired really. And this happened, which is a chalk and a flip. Boom, boom. I wasn't stoked with inducement, but it is there. And yeah, I was just a bit tired. I was a bit like, am I looking for something that was not there? Or is that a trade? Is that little badger there? Okay, so chalk short, chalk long, level of supply that came down, broke the previous low, so it's strong, it's respected, gets respected, fails, demand sweeps liquidity. Sweeps liquidity, drops inducement, and breaks off. Then I was a little bit cautious on this badger here as well. Because look, if we're going the other way, then supplies come down, drops inducement for the break, come up, sell side getting faked out, and then we could be going short from here. So I was a bit like, I feel like I'm just chasing something here. So I didn't enter this, but we do go from here. And this is a trade if you're feeling shorty. In fact, I'll put it in here, these trades. Yeah. So it does tap. And we go. And then, right, so I've got a lot of bit of notes here. So yeah, liquidity within our point of interest now, which is our additional cherry, which is lovely. Let's go to our second trade now. So all the same. You'll see all this in a minute. Liquidity within our point of interest, yeah. Yeah, and we start getting recent range flips as well. Whew, this is a bit messy, innit? But I've got notes here. So good patience. I was happy with this. No revenge trading. Waiting for the chop. Sweet. Go away. Just gonna mark up what I had noted out. Yeah. Feel as if I sat on the chart all afternoon, missed beach walk, and not taken a loss before, I would have been all over this. Yeah, stay present. What you see is all there is. So yeah, I was watching this go and realised I was like, mate, that's the setup, that's the edge. You know, this is nice, high time frame, liquidity, all this good stuff. And I was a bit like, yeah, should have taken that one. Excuse if you can hear some noise in the background. Um, so then we've got like a double flip. So now we're just seeing levels of supply getting broken. Okay, over here this level of supply is holding. We're not going to look for anything long, but now we're starting to see these levels of supply get broken. This is another what I class as a missed trade, because we're going from underneath here. I don't know why I'm showing you missed trades, but yeah, there's another scale in there. Right, and then I'm going to ignore all this because I'm just watching this and be like, oh, missed trade, missed trade. Been on a computer all day. We're going into New York, like Martin. Walk away, relax for a second. So deleted everything. But I came back to the computer and was like the high time frame setup. The edge is there. We ticked all the boxes. Alright, come on. Let's pull the trigger here. So trade 2. Demand is sweeping liquidity, breaking. Sweeping liquidity, breaking. And then it was when I saw this badger, this strong level of supply get broken, I was like, we're in. We're going for this. Got lots of nice inducement. Ba, ba, ba. And I'm missing some stuff here as well, where we've also, let me just tidy this up for 1 second, got, where's my ranges? We've got a supply to demand range flip. She comes back, coming in there. There she goes. Supply range order flow, supply. Then we break the low, we break the high. So now we've got a supply to demand range flip on 15 minutes to confirm. Getting 15 minutes levels of supply getting broken with a high time frame narrative. I even think there's an RSI divergence. Yep. Bum, bum, bum. I like it. See how that is lower and that's high, and that's high, that's low, and then we're breaking back into the range as well. So I was like, cool. Don't play off that too much, but nice to see as well. So I was like, come on, yeah, pull the trigger. We're on here. And believe, whoops, hang on a minute. I wanted to cover this low. Oh, I forgot something. Right, this bang on at 12 o'clock was New York Open. I just wanted to cover this, so I just thought maybe this was extra bit of liquidity to be tapped into and go as well. You know, if I start chasing this liquidity and this liquidity and this liquidity, I'm just going to get a massive stop loss. Our risk to reward is going to be tougher to get. Yeah, so to cover this low is almost too aggressive, even though this has swept liquidity. I just wanted to cover this because this was the New York Open. I said that we got market confluence because London has been biased by just being short. So now, as I said, it's almost not a thing. It's just something I've seen a few times of just like if New York is setting up to go counter whatever the London bias was, you could see a bit of reaction. And if we get our setup, it's worth playing with. So yeah, I was happy here. Where's our low was covered? Got tagged in there, I think, or there. What time do we get tagged in? 12:43. There. Nice in the 5 seconds. Yeah, see underneath here? Yeah, it kind of has been mitigated. This was like there was a little GB news release, which affected EU. Messed around a little bit here, so this is a bit messy. Just wanted to cover this, but we didn't really need to. Maybe a little bit, and she went off. Anyway, 271. I moved my stop loss up. I'll tell you why in a minute. But yeah, we entered 271. 271 at 3.5 stop loss, 4.5 stop loss to cover the low. Messy here, ain't I? And then, right, I'm tired. I really am tired now. I'm walking away from the computer. I had a take profit set at 1 to 4. I'm not going to play around with, the following 4% and going up and all that stuff. I just had a take profit set as 451, 451, which was 4%. And alert set, I just didn't want to watch the computer anymore, to be honest with you. I think I actually walked down the road with the dog for a second. A little bit. So yeah, gone out for like 10-15 minutes. Right, disclaimer alert a little bit. Just be very, very careful about trading news. And I was aware that 13:30 we had, I've even forgotten what news it was now, core PPI or something. And that's why I moved my stop loss up to break even. Okay, just in case this happened the other way and we got some big nasty slippage. I didn't want to go over 1% slippage. If I had my stop loss at break even, I moved it around about here, about like 5 minutes to the news release. Then yeah, hopefully the max we'll lose is the normal, just 1% anyway. So I just had a bit of risk management there of moving my stop loss up to break even because there was a news release. And we did get taken out. The news release just went in our favour, very lucky. And we hit our take profit. And we actually went right over. But I set my take profit at 451 and we got filled, taken out at 470. So just over 4%. So market definitely works in our favour. Now and then, I like to say I've had my fair share of tough beats, but she's also been very nice to me sometimes and been on our side too. So that was nice. And yeah, that was it. That was the second trade. So a long day yesterday, hence why probably a long trade recap. Want to try and cover the emotional side of things. Yeah, long wait here. I didn't like this. It was just like waiting for a chock. Could happen in any minute really, couldn't it? Just go boom and then come back and go. So yeah, it was a long time looking at the computer. That is that. And yeah, very happy I set 1 to 4 as well and not trying to follow this trend and be on the computer past 10 o'clock because she comes back, I believe. Yeah, taken out. See you later. But yeah, really happy with that. Are we chasing? I mean, should have really entered down here, I'm completely honest. But didn't throw my toys out the pram and be like, oh, you missed it, you're tired, go to bed. It was like, nah, what you see is all there is. Demand is now breaking levels of supply. Good high time frame narrative. If anything, taking it up here is actually not chasing and it's better because we waited for a 15-minute supply to demand range flip. Probably a good idea to wait to see this strong level of supply go first and then play from there. Probably down here, maybe give myself a break. Maybe this is too aggressive. Maybe this was could have gone the other way. Good to see a bit more 15-minute confirmation before we got our entry model. But all this was nice. Sweep, mitigate, drop inducement, flip, tap, go. Sweet. Right, let's have a little look at the proof of trades as well. So we've already covered these. That was on the FTMO broker. Yeah, -1%, but followed by +4 or just over 4 because we got a good fill. That all copied over to our FTMO challenge as well, which was nice. So now we're running. Can you see that on the page? Yeah. So our live account up 2%, and on our challenge, because we copied it over, took the same trades, we're running 6.5%. Good. And yeah, that'll do it for today's recap. Hope that helped, guys. Don't think there's too much to take away apart from that first trade here. As I said, we're aware that the first tap into a point of interest, and this one didn't even tap into it, can be liquidity, the sweep to then go, which this did. Anything can happen in the market, so I'm not going to hold on to these trades and think that just because this is a good higher time frame narrative and we've got our setup, we're going to hit the moon. Which is wonderful, was short and sweet, because anything can happen. There's obviously other things going on. Maybe we're coming down to a few of these. Don't know, not going to go into it. Right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your patience and listening to me waffle, and I'll see you on the next recap. Take it easy. Bye. Okay, so let's have a look at our entry criteria in picture perfect format. So we're going to start off with demand. So we're looking for buys, and on the higher time frame, pro trend. Okay, so when you see me ticking the boxes, are we pro trend? This is kind of what I have in my mind, what we're seeing. Alright, we want to be seeing higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then when we come back within the previous range, it's important that we're back into the range. I don't want to be taking longs after the breakout. I want to see price pull back. Usually be a refined point of interest somewhere here. I'm happy to be pretty aggressive and just go straight for the 15-minute entry model combined with our 1-minute entry execution, obviously. But yeah, there's no real clean flips or anything we need to see. I just want to see demand range order flow, demand swing structure, order flow, lows holding, highs getting broken, and this is simply trend is your friend. If we start seeing that demand is still serving from these refined points of interest, then we're going to go with the flow, man. I also have, are we serving from a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement? All that good stuff, pro trend as well, because that's still great. If this has been flipping levels and we've got inducement, we've got a point of interest, and we're pro trend, it's even stronger. So that's nice. But I'm happy to just simply go with range and swing structure order flow. Okay. So moving over to still in the higher time frame, but now counter trend, and you can see there's a little bit more going on now because we want a bit more confluence because we're kind of going against the grain here. So we want to see a bit more confluence. So are we serving from a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement? Okay. So you would see something like, again, we're still looking for buys, we're looking for demand, but you would see like supply creating lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, failing to create a lower low. Okay, coming up, testing this level of supply, which is a strong level because it broke structure. Okay, so it's got to test a strong level of supply. Still fails to create a new low, and then demand breaks supply serve, breaks out. Okay, and what you'll see here is, say this breakout stops, because when the market sees that there's more demand than supply in the market, there'll be a lot of orders and stops underneath the previous low, and that's our liquidity, that's our fuel for our counter trend move. Okay, so we want to be coming down, and like this could be X amount of time. This could be a couple of years. Doesn't even matter. Now, if we're seeing a strong high time frame setup like this, okay, and we've had all this price action happen, and then we've had supply is actually currently serving. But if we're in a strong point of interest that is like swept liquidity, got inducement, and created a strong flip, then we can go down to our 15-minute entry model combined with a 1-minute entry model. Right, but really important, got inducement, and it's created a flip. Okie doke. So that's our counter trend higher time frame. Okay, so now onto the 15-minute time frame. Now, on the 15-minute, there's no more pro or counter trend setups. It's just the same setup either way we're going. Alright, so this is either the supply pulling back into our pro trend range, most recent range, yeah, or this is supply coming into our strong counter trend point of interest. Okay, and it's pretty much the same details as the counter trend. We see supply causing a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, but failing to create a lower low. You could see a bit of range price action going on here, creating liquidity, like a bit of indecision in the market or fair price, whatever you want to call it. And then supply, which is a strong level of supply because it broke structure, yeah, it's come up. And now if it's going to continue the trend short on the 15-minute, it would have swept liquidity and create a new lower low, breaking this low here, right? So it sweeps liquidity, it's got a fair chance by having the fuel to do so, and still fails to create a new low. And demand holds. Now what's happened is demand has actually swept liquidity, mitigated some demand order flow, mitigated our pro trend range, mitigated our counter trend strong point of interest, come back up, tested supply, supply is still failing, and actually breaks supply, okay, and has a flip. So do we have a flip? Sorry, do we have flip inducement? I've got these the wrong way around, really. Yep, so same detail as I just explained. You know, we'll see these breakout, market breaking out, and there'll be a lot of orders and stops placed underneath the previous low. That's the fill you want. So do we have flip inducement? Yes. Are we selling from a point of interest that created a 15-minute flip or above? Yes. So this is demand that basically broke supply serve, range flip, all the good stuff. And very important on the 15-minute as well is, are we serving from an area that has swept liquidity? Okay, because if you haven't swept liquidity, you become the liquidity. Alright. So yeah, that's our 15-minute entry model, yeah, both pro and counter trend. Then once we see all this setting up, and we've had the inducement, we're kind of pulling back now into the extremity, this is where we're looking for our 1-minute entry model. Boom, boom. This is game time. So yeah, this will be our 15-minute point of interest. I should have done this on all the time frames really. That's this badger. Now here. And what we want to see is, again, like price actions fractal, yeah? We want to buy, so we want to see that demand is serving. We want to see that there's more demand than supply in the market. Now we're seeing that on the high time frame, whether it's pro trend or from a strong point of interest that's flipped. We're now seeing that on the 15-minute time frame, that demand is a broken supply serve. And now we just want to see it on the 1-minute time frame. And if we see that, then probability is on our side that buys are a go. Little additional cherry, yeah, the Asian sweep. We would like to see this as well. So this would be like the Asian market, and we'll come down around London, you know, after 7 a.m. London Open. If we start seeing this kind of price action, it's even extra juicier, but it's not a must. It's just an additional cherry. So you'll see, yeah, on my entry criteria, the 1-minute entry model, do we have a minimum of 1-minute chock? Okay. Chock is basically a change of character, a change of trend. And the reason I had this 1 minute is because I have been aggressive in the past. This is more for me, that you see me go down the seconds, and when I have like a real high high probability or strong, high time frame 15-minute point of interest. Sometimes I can get carried away on the seconds, and you'll see a big push in on the 1 minute. You'll see like a 30 seconds setup and the flip and change of character and stuff, and then we'll get an entry, and all it does is it comes up to the previous high of the 1 minute and just continues the 1 minute trend short, does an extra sweep, and then goes. So I like a 1 minute chalk. I want to see this minimum on the 1 minute, change of character. But anyway, yeah, another little additional cherry would be that our liquidity is within our point of interest. You'll see supply coming down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, test this level of supply, fail to break the low, and then demand break. Okay, and again, on this little breakout in the 1 minute, there'll be stops and orders below here. This is the inducement and the fuel. Now, sometimes price does go from here, or you can call these the decisionals. But again, I just learned to personally, I just go from the extremities every time to keep the probabilities in my favour. So yeah, do we have a minimum 1 minute chalk? Yes. Has there been a flip? Yeah, so supply has had a chance to continue the trend here, but it's failed and then got broken. Have we swept liquidity? Yep. This is the bit where we would have swept this liquidity, ideally within our 15-minute point of interest. And do we have inducement? Do we have fuel for the move to come? Yeah, just flip inducement is ideal. We want it before the flip. Okay, and then that's when price will be coming back into this area here, and we'll be hitting market execute. It should be flying to the moon. And then yeah, our trade management will be going from there. Cool. Okay, so obviously it's going to be the same for supply. I am going to make a quick little video for supply as well, just to get eyes on from the other way. But that is what we're looking for in the trade to come.